Hey guys, today we're going to be going really wacky and just have some fun. Like the title says, Kaido versus Itachi Uchiha. Now, there's no specific reason why I paired these two together. Never heard anyone speak of a matchup like this, and just thought I might start a little series of wacky crossover battles. Now, let's start with Itachi, and we'll go over his physical stats first. Now, to be fair, he doesn't have too many impressive strength feats, but he does have some crazy speed feats. He was able to completely overwhelm Kakashi with speed alone in part 1, where Kakashi couldn't even keep up and struggled to even follow what Itachi was doing. In a nerf state, he was able to keep up with his brother Sasuke, which is impressive considering Sasuke has some pretty good speed feats of his own. Itachi was also keeping up with a KCM-1 Naruto as an Edo, so this is still him being slightly nerfed, and he was trading blows with a Naruto who at this point was one of the fastest characters in the series, being able to get up to light speed feat scaling by dodging the Raikage. Now, Itachi's base durability isn't really anything to write home about, but he does have some pretty crazy endurance. While he was alive, he went into every fight while having an incredibly dangerous illness, which by the end stages of his life resulted in him coughing up blood and needing to prolong his life through medications. He was also essentially blind by the time he was finally killed, not to mention his underrated mental durability dealing with all the pain, stress, and heartache he had to deal with. And despite all this pain, he still often held back to fight his enemies, just showing the amount of fortitude that this man has. Now, as for his jutsu, I'm not going to talk about anything that isn't a Mangekyo Sharingan technique, because anything less than that, it's just getting completely negged by Kaido's massive durability. Now, we should bring up the elephant in the room, and that's Itachi's Genjutsu, specifically Tsukiyomi and Izanami. Izanagi could grant Itachi an extra life, but as we'll go into later, I'm not sure how much of a help that will be. Also, for anyone who says Genjutsu doesn't work on people who don't possess chakra, that's just not true. I might do a whole video on why Genjutsu works in crossover battles, but for right now, it works because I say it works. So Itachi could definitely catch Kaido in Tsukiyomi, but honestly, I'm not sure if it would really do anything, or do anything's the wrong word, but I'm not sure it would be able to affect Kaido that much, to be honest. Kaido has incredible willpower, as shown with his crazy powerful advanced Conqueror's Haki. Itachi wouldn't be able to just have Kaido experience pain over and over again like he did with Kakashi. Kaido's just too strong for that, and just has too much endurance and stamina. But Itachi could potentially make Kaido relive past memories with Odin, for example, or have it replay fake memories of Kaido never exceeding in his aspirations. Whatever Itachi decides to do, while I think it would shake Kaido somewhat, I just can't see him being taken out by it. He's too tough, too stubborn, too resilient. Now, I will admit that that might be getting slightly into headcanony. I'd be interested to see what you guys think of that take. If a technique like Tsukiyomi, mental trauma, if it would have any real effect on Kaido. Now, Izanami, I could see definitely being a win con for Itachi. If Itachi were to trap Kaido with this, then he would potentially dive in with a Totsuka blade and just seal Kaido away, giving him the W. And since we're talking about it, let's discuss if the Totsuka blade would work on Kaido. Because in the win con I just presented for Itachi, I did make sure to mention potentially. So bear with me here, guys, but question for you all. Would the Totsuka blade be able to seal away Kaido? Since the Totsuka blade is a variant of the Kusanagi sword, which in legend is said to have come from the corpse of Yamata no Orochi, and in Naruto lore, the blade is said to be able to cut through anything, I'm going to give Itachi the benefit of the doubt and say it could get through Kaido's scales. But would it cut through Kaido's armament Whacky? Because as we all know, Whacky is a spiritual concept. Armament Whacky uses spiritual energy to form invisible armor. And since the Totsuka blade is a spirit weapon, could Kaido defend against it? Now, I reckon this is a really, really interesting question that will never have a 100% guaranteed answer. I'm actually probably going to say, though, that it wouldn't be able to seal him, because in my mind, it's a spirit defense against a spirit offense. So his Whacky should be able to defend against the invincible sword. To make matters worse, Kaido specifically not only has the best defense in all of One Piece, but also incredibly powerful Whacky. However, I will caveat this by saying if you do subscribe to the notion of the Totsuka blade working, then if Itachi hits him with the Izanami, then finishes him off with the Totsuka blade, he gets the win. Now, I'm probably going to contradict this later on, because Kaido is just so unbelievably fast, and if you go down certain scaling trees, then it's very likely that Kaido truthfully just blitzes Itachi before he can do anything. But we'll go into that in a second when we go over Kaido and his abilities. I do just want to wrap up Itachi's part of this video, though, by discussing Amaterasu and the Yata Mirror. In my opinion, Amaterasu probably wouldn't work on Kaido. In Naruto, we see Naruto's KCM cloak blocking Amaterasu, as well as Gaara's sand, so I don't think it's getting through Kaido's durability. Now, the Yata Mirror is an amazing defense, and I even reckon it would be able to block all of Kaido's physical attacks and his elemental attacks. But we'll also discuss potential ways Kaido can get around that in his portion of the video. And speaking of Kaido, let's get into the King of Beasts. Okay, where to even begin? Like Itachi, let's start with his stats. And we'll start with his speed stat so we can go into why that win con of Itachi might not even be an option to begin with. If you've even touched on One Piece power scaling, then you know their speed scaling can get really, really crazy. Part 1, base Luffy, can be compared to light speed. And when he goes second gear, you could scale him 5 to 10 times the speed of light. And that's not even factoring in that the current Luffy is just astronomically stronger, meaning his speed would just be completely off the charts, especially in Snake Man. And this super powerful Luffy, yeah, Kaido kind of legit just one-shots him. So if you go down that line of scaling, then Kaido obliterates Itachi, as well as the rest of the Naruto cast. But like I said, I try to use some realism in my scaling. So we won't be going off that, even so Kaido should still be quite a bit faster than light. Luffy, at the bare minimum, thought light was slow, and that's a significantly weaker Luffy than the one that Kaido blitzed. Kaido also probably has better precog than Itachi. I'm not sure we're ever told how much the Sharingan can see ahead, but it's not several seconds into the future. So logically, a Thunder Buggerer should probably end it, and that would be my official answer, that Kaido does win this fight. But if it's not enough evidence for you guys, let me just put it this way. He's easily performing island-level feats when he uses his flame clouds to lift up Onigashima, and he's able to just spit out mountain-level busting attacks, not to mention a durability that, aside from a potential Totsuka blade, Itachi is doing absolutely nothing against. We mentioned before that he's easily lifting up islands. Depending on how you scale him as well, you could even up that to small country level to high country level forms of AP. He also has the flight advantage, and technically if we're shoving our controllers up his ass, we could close his eyes and just have him use observation Whacky to prevent any genjutsu. While Itachi can block his attacks with the Yata Mirror, he can't hold that form for long. And if you guys are using Edo Itachi, who has unlimited stamina, then Kaido could just use his speed and huge AoE attacks to find a way around the Yata mirror. If you downplay Kaido's speed, and you guys reckon the Totsuka Blade does work, then I do think Itachi can take the W. But overall, to me at least, it's an overwhelming win to Kaido. Now, it's true I was just doing this video for a bit of fun, but there are some methods to my madness. I wanted to see what you guys thought about the armament Haki defense against the Totsuka Blade. Leave all that down in the comments. And I should just mention, if my audio and voice is sounding worse than usual, it's because I'm really sick at the moment, but I did want to get this video out to you all, so please just bear with it if you can. And if you've enjoyed today's video, or at least enjoyed today's Whacky video, then make sure to like and subscribe. I've been Jack Cypher, Cypher out.